What's up, guys? It's Goose, man. What's up, guys? Goose here, man. And guess what? Another video coming here. LSU Texas A&M week. Before I get started, especially if you're an LSU fan, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, click all notifications, and also get the video a thumbs up. Helps the channel out, helps the video out, and all that good stuff. So LSU fresh off a 27-24 victory over Arkansas as TJ Finley led them down the field. The last few minutes of the game, scored a touchdown, and Arkansas, of course, they had a chance to go and tie it or maybe win it, and Jay Ward just got a deflection on the field goal attempt, and it fell short. And he also made a good tackle on third down, which they forced them to kick the field goal. So LSU did just enough. I mean, there's a lot of things that they got to work on, but they did just enough to win the game. That's all that matters at this point. LSU's not a good football team, but they're playing a very good football team this week against Texas A&M. Texas A&M is probably the second best team in the SEC. Why do I say that? Well, they beat Florida. Florida has one loss. Of course, they're gonna win the SEC East. A&M, their only loss was to Alabama. So A&M is probably the second best team in the SEC right now. So LSU, it's a bad matchup on a lot of fronts. A lot of reasons why that is. One of them, like I said, A&M is a better football team than LSU. I mean, they got a better defense. Their offense is better than LSU, a little more balanced, and I mean, a lot of bad blood. I think there's a lot of bad blood between these two teams, especially the last few years. Of course, they had that 7 overtime game 2 years ago in College Station when A&M won last year. LSU blew Texas A&M out 50-7 in Baton Rouge. So I think there's a lot of bad blood between these two teams. I think A&M wants to come out and beat LSU pretty bad this coming weekend. Hopefully the game's played. I mean, it's COVID. You never know. I mean, there's 10 plus games every week getting canceled in college football, and nothing's going to change. They're gonna have 10 games canceled this weekend. It's just hopefully it's not LSU. Hopefully it's not A&M. A&M their last 2 games A&M has gotten canceled, but Tennessee and then Ole Miss. So they've had problems playing their games. So but let's look with some of the strengths and weaknesses on these football teams. One of the weaknesses for LSU is their pass defense. Their pass defense is horrible. It's last in the conference. I think they're giving up like 355 yards through the air, and it's the big plays. I saw a stat where last week Felipe Franks was like 5 for 5, over 200 yards on passes over 20 yards, attempts over 20 yards. I mean that's insane. That's just your secondary not doing the work. Your safety's not helping out. Your cornerback's getting lost. It's a recipe for disaster. And LSU's pass defense, has not gotten better all year long. I thought the defense played better. I mean, I say that it hadn't gotten better, but I know they played a bad offense last week against Arkansas, but they played a little bit better, especially in the linebacker. I thought the linebackers played Bakersfield. I think it's his last name, because you didn't see Damone Clark playing. Linebacker play was a little bit better this past Saturday. Of course, Jabril Cox had another interception, almost a pick six, as he had a pick six against Mississippi State, the first game of the year, and he almost had a pick six against Arkansas. Set up LSU on a very very short goal to go. They were able to get that touchdown, but the defense. I mean, they're still not good. Still not good. A&M has the 5th best offense in the SEC. They're second running the football. Isaiah Spiller. He's gonna be a tough matchup for LSU. I mean, LSU's has had problems in the running game, especially outside containment through the A gap. I mean, he's got 643 yards on the ground. I think they've only played like 6 games, so he's averaging over 100 yards per game on the ground. So this is a bad matchup for LSU. This is a bad matchup. LSU's going to have to get there's a few things LSU's gonna have to do to win this football game. For one, they can't have no uh, big plays, none. I mean none. Or if you I say none, but I mean maybe one. I mean but they're gonna have to get turnovers. They're gonna have to get turnovers. They're gonna have to be, when I say turnover, I mean they're gonna have to be like +3, +4 in this football game. Uh, they might need a special teams touchdown on top of that to win this football game. But they're gonna have to play mistake free. They're gonna have to run the football. I don't know how they're gonna do it against this the number one defense in the SEC. Because they only give up like 338 yards of offense. Is A&M. Now LSU's offense is fourth in the conference. So their offense has done well this year. T.J. Finley had no turnovers against Arkansas. That's the same thing that's going to have to happen against Texas A&M. He's going to have no turnovers. He had 2 touchdown passes against Arkansas. So I think Finley has played well. And one good thing about T.J. Finley is he's getting reps in football games. So next year, let's just say Miles Brennan can't play next year. Let's just say for some reason Miles Brennan, his hip or whatever is ailing him. What if he can't play? What if he decides to go pro? I don't know. You never know what's going to happen next year. At least T.J. Finley will have some games under his belt, and he won't go in next year totally green. So that's one good thing about getting T.J. Finley some game reps this year. He'll take his lumps. This year doesn't count for his eligibility, so he'll still have 4 years of eligibility next year. So that's one good thing. Will LSU do it? I don't know. They're 12.5-point underdogs. I just don't see it. I hate to be a negative Nancy, but I just don't see it. I just don't see how they're going to win this football game. A&M is a very, very good team. They got blown out last year by LSU, 50-7. They got just thoroughly outclassed last year, and I think they remember that. I think Jimbo Fisher remembers that. Kellen Mond was on that football team. Spiller was on that football team. So you have some players on that A&M team that remembers getting beat pretty badly. And this year there is no Joe Burrow, there's no Edwards-Helaire, there's no Justin Jefferson, there's no Jamar Chase, there's no Thaddeus Moss. So LSU has lost the whole team from last year. So it's tough. I said I just I just don't see it. I don't see it. I hope I'm wrong. Hope LSU comes out there and proves me wrong. But I just don't see it. I think A&M is going to win this game by more than 14 points. Hate to be a negative Nancy, but I like being a realist on this channel. I don't like blowing smoke up people's asses. I don't like sunshine pumping. Sometimes all depends on what the situation is, but I just don't see it. Hope I'm wrong. Hopefully that maybe the defense will do something. It's probably ESPN. That ESPN was probably a COVID cancellation. Have a good one. Go Tigers.